My name is Konstantin. I'm working with Chronicle Labs, and we building oracles. First of all, who knows what is oracles? So I just need to understand how deep can I just dive in this talk. Okay, one person. Okay, yeah. Then I will be light with you guys. So I'm mostly a technical person. I'm not the person who is normally going like cheering about everything. So I will go more on the technical side. So the oracles itself. What is the oracles in blockchain? In theory, the oracles is something that provides you with the data that the blockchain doesn't know. For example, blockchain doesn't know what the weather outside. And if you need something on the blockchain, you have a smart contract that will react on the weather or amount of people in the room. Somebody have to prove that there were such a lot of people, or like it's sunny. If I will say that it's sunny and committed to blockchain, like it will go wrong for some stuff. But the oracles, the main idea of oracles is just proving the data that it's outside of blockchain to inside of blockchain. For sure, like mainly oracles are made for getting prices of different assets on different, I don't know, APIs, whatever, pairs, real world assets like gold, USD, euro, and everything else. And in reality, the oracles, it's from the first perspective, it's pretty simple thing. It works very simply. We have a tool that actually goes to different sources like Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, FTX was on FTX, yeah, and get the price for some like data. For example, ETC, USDC, like MKR, USDC, USDT, whatever. Then it aggregates the prices from different sources and sends it further to commitment to the smart contract on different chains. Our oracles consist of like 4 steps. So we have the sources that produces the prices, we have the feeds that consumes the prices from the sources, aggregates, calculates median values for some range of data, just because, like, for example, if you are Binance and you providing with a price, you couldn't provide with a price every millisecond, but some actors need this price. So when we aggregating the prices from different sources, we getting the semi-normal price based on different sources in different time. And this is how the feeds actually aggregate the price. Then they set it to relays that actually verifies that the price was correct. It does it like mathematically. It has all the information. I will describe it later. And the relays then sends these prices to smart contracts on the chain. So on chain, you can actually get the price of some pairs. Oops. Yeah. And all these actors are communicating using libp2p. So if somebody didn't hear about libp2p, just communication protocol that is distributed. So every actor, it's named feed in our sources, is communicating to a bunch of different feeds. So it's a sort of network. And if somebody couldn't communicate between each other, the messages will be relayed from the other actors inside the libp2p itself. So it's P2P network. Why we decided to choose it? Because it's distributed. We don't need to do anything. It's proven, like there are a lot of projects using it. It's self-healing. If somebody couldn't receive the data, somebody else will reroute the data to him. And it's accessible for everybody. We don't need to think about scaling. So we don't need to keep servers and pay for the servers. So different people could reroute the messages, and the data will be accessible to everybody who need it. So I already said that what is the oracles, but the main like problems of the oracles is that most of the protocols and most of the users of oracles need exact the same data, but on their chain where they operate. You couldn't go to Ethereum if you operate on like something else. You need this data on your chain. So this creates an issue for us because we have to support publishing all these prices to different chains. even if we get the price from one source, we still need it to distribute it across the chains. And here we have a lot of problems. For example, the accuracy problem. We need to be sure that the price is actual and like pretty good. We couldn't afford to send stale prices. Like if the price was like 10, 20, 30, 1 hour late, it might affect every player in the game. Like with the Luna, in 1 hour, price just jumped completely. And if we will resend again and again the old price, a lot of people will lose their money. The reliability, it's another issue. This is the biggest issue when you have something big using your oracles. Currently, we're partnering with makers. It's like one of the biggest real-world asset company that like actually based in blockchain, and they really need the reliable data. They couldn't afford to lose data because it's like a lot of money and the protocol itself will die as soon as we will. I'm trying to find the word without like swearing, but whatever, you understood what I meant. Yeah, the security. The security is another part. It's for obvious reasons, we have to be secure. We couldn't offer ourselves to accept the prices from somebody who is not very like true about the price or something. So from malfunctional players in the Oracle network. The same issue with the scalability. It's also pretty obvious that we have to be scalable. We have to like have a lot of load. We have to accept it. We have to deliver our prices. And the cost. This is probably the biggest issue with all the oracles that actually exist at the moment, because you have to pay when you sending the price to on-chain. And all these payments is taken from our pocket. So we have to pay for like applying the price, not people who is receiving the prices. And the cost of this data, it's like pretty big. And like right now, it's a lot of oracles, and everybody says that they actually know how to solve this issue, but in reality, like nobody actually solved it. They have assumption that they did solve this. And yeah, the next point is that you have to trust probably oracles, but not one of them. And you have to like deliver stuff. And how base Oracle system works, as I already explained, it's like collecting prices, signing prices, storing prices somewhere on-chain, off-chain, whatever. And the player who needs the prices consumes these prices from the store. And there are a lot of companies who actually consumes the prices at the moment. And all they couldn't rely on one concrete like Oracle or something. And right now, the oracles, companies who provides oracles is mostly like based on the reputation. So they working for a while. And how history showed us, it's not always very good solution to trust on reputation. We also like trust our reputation. We're trying to do everything good, and we actually developing oracles from starting of MakerDAO, and still we involving. Right now we completely separated from Maker, so we just completely separated thing. And issue is that, so if somebody is not relying on the reputation, that they have to verify the data that you send us. That's why we actually went with a approach where all the prices, when we send this price to on-chain, everybody could open the website like Chronicle Labs org, go to dashboard, pick any price message and click a button verify. And it will make a mathematical verification on the sign signature of the message with the price, and you will see if this price is valid and it was sent from valid peer inside the network. And if the price was like bad, you will also see this. If you want, just open chroniclelabs.org dashboard. Yeah, how we consuming prices? We consuming prices from different APIs, not only APIs, but basically like it's a very, very basic like tool for consuming prices. We using GQ, some other stuff. We using a lot of self-written software to consume the prices from different points. And this is how it looks inside our configuration files. So we actually getting the prices from API Binance. We getting the symbols, prices, volumes, timestamps, and everything. Then we aggregating these prices, and for example, for Uniswap, because they don't have API, we have to go on-chain and read the on-chain data on these contracts. And every contract is corresponding to the concrete pair that we need the price from. So right now we have ability to consume prices from on-chain and off-chain. And we aggregating all these prices because the on-chain prices has some issues because it couldn't be done very like rapidly. You couldn't rely on them if you need like every second updates because the block verification, cost of pushing the data to the blockchain. So your prices will be always a little bit stale. It will be still useful for most of the players and users of oracles, but not always. Yeah, the first approach, how I already explained how the oracles are working, was like this. So every feed have to collect, sign, store the data. Then we went to the next approach where we have the second version of oracles where we still have the feeds who collecting, signing the data, but publishing the data to the on-chain was separated from the feeds itself. That's why like the relays from the first slide appeared. Who actually pushes the data? They aggregated the prices from different feeds and then store them on a blockchain with one transactions. So we just starting to save money in there. Oh, I have to hurry up. Yeah, and that's how we got ability to implement everything only once for every chain. We don't need to re-implement something from like different chains. We decoupled the oracles and we decoupled from feeds. So right now the price fetching is completely independent from the price publishing. And we saved money for us. Then we decided that it's actually a good solution to save even more money and decided to go to the oracles version 3, where on some chains, for example, Ethereum, where we have like gas and the cost of computation and the cost of storage is pretty high, we started to approach optimistic oracle push approach. So when we started to implement this, we had to find the ability how to sign different messages, not separately, like it was like in normal oracles and it was working before. We decided that we could combine the data, then we can use different relayers, so different things, software in the network that will collectively sign bunch of messages and publish it to the chains. And actually it helped a lot. We saved a lot of money, and on the chains where we have a cheap compute powers but expensive call data, mostly L2 chains, we like using this approach, and all the prices is publishing there with one signature for multiple prices. So we're happy, but we didn't still solve the issue with Ethereum because it's like the most cost, like inefficient chain that we have at the moment that we're working. And we decided that we actually will go with the same approach, but we will not wait for everybody in the chain to completely approve and confirm that the signatures from the feeds and the data and signers is valid. And we will just publish the price as soon as we get the first signature. But then, when we deployed it and tried, it saved a lot of gas, it saved a lot of money, but there was an issue. What will happen if the signer will just change the data and sign the invalid data? Here we went with the situation where we created the challengers. It's a separate bunch of people. You could just run this tool, it's open source. You have to point it to the smart contract where the data with the prices goes. And it will constantly monitor all the blocks, all the events on this smart contract. As soon as the new price will appear, it will get the data, it will get the Schnorr signature, it's a signature of the price, it will get all the list of historical places where this price came from, and it could verify that the price is real and the signature is valid. As soon as the signature is invalid or the price is invalid, it could send the challenge and said that, okay, this concrete peer was pretty bad guy, so we have to punish him. And the feed will lose portion of his staked money, and the challenger will receive it as a reward for finding malfunction actions from the feed. So it's a sort of way of making money. So right now we have situation where everybody could rely on the stuff, on the prices, of course, with some delay in the time, because you have to spend some time when somebody might find like the price as false. But still, we have a lot of validator. Probably nobody will try to like do something bad with us, and they're working. And right now we can have up to 255 validators in one chain based on one contract. So they will work and verify and sign the messages with exactly the same cost as we have right now with the 25 validators. So because of these optimistic Schnorr signatures and updates, we could ignore amount of validators when they're growing. So we don't need to spend additional amount of gas. And it showed, of course, it's our calculations based on only our data that we got from the dashboards from all the possible oracles that we found. And we found out that this approach saves a huge amount of money. It's like up to 2 or up to 4 times less than others. And like when the gas price also grows, we still saves a lot of money for us. We're still thinking of, we didn't implement it yet, but we're thinking of implementing the pool oracles. It's a type of oracles that works when not we pushing the data to on-chain with the price, but users of our oracles who need the price can ask this price from us and publish it to his smart contract. And they will have always the latest price verified by them, and they will have to like pay the gas for publishing the price. But they will pay way less because they need, for example, only one pair, price for one pair, not for everything. We have like 200 pairs and we're paying for 200. But the user who need only price for one pair can save a lot of money for himself and for us, yes. But yeah, so the taxes is for users, not for us. And we will still have all this data in call data on the chain, so all the other users would also rely on this data, on the pool oracles. There is one big issue with the pool oracles, and that's why we didn't start with them. Because like from the business point of view, it's very efficient when your users paying for you, not like you don't spend your money. But as soon as somebody decide that they will go with, for example, Chronicle oracles and creating smart contracts that will get the price from us and publish this price, they wouldn't be able never to switch the oracles ever, because they already baked it in their smart contracts. So it's only like one-step decision, one-time decision. And because we need to just make for the market working first and then come up with some solution that needed not for everybody, because most of the protocols, most of the users of our oracles, they don't want to like change their smart contracts often. They just need the prices. So that's why we actually found investors and started with the approach where we paying for publishing money at the moment, but we will evolve. And yeah, this is then another issue with pool Oracle. As soon as your smart contract or your infrastructure has some issues, you couldn't get the prices, and everybody else who is relying on the prices might go wrong. That's basically was very fast, brief in like Oracle's one-on-one. What is Oracle's, how everything is working, and what is it, and our plans. And I'm pretty in time, so I have 5 minutes more. Any questions? Right now, we don't. But as soon as we will release the pool oracles, and as soon as we will reach the market and we'll start to work with more and more and more users, for sure we will, because somebody need to pay us. And at the moment, we're thinking about this as a subscription service, where they will stake money and pay for the prices. So this will be the time where we will need our token to manipulate with everything. And we need to make a governance decisions. That might be another token, but it's like, it will depend on how everything will go. Right now, we don't have any tokens. We have it in plans, but not like in the near future. As soon as we will have a very stable oracles working, then we will think about how to get money from it. So it was pretty good speech then, if you don't have any questions. Oh, yeah, and I could show you how to verify. Okay, Chronicle Labs. So yeah, we have a prices, and we have on-chain price updates, and we have the history of prices, and we have list of the prices that was pushed from different feeds. And in reality, you could just take a look on the price and click like verify, and it will mathematically verify that this price was valid or invalid. So yeah, this is how it's implemented in the dashboard. I like just this thing.